Yeah, I mean, Purdy's been phenomenal, right? You know, I think the criticism's a little crazy. It's amazing what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
It's not Josh Allen or Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. It's never going to be. Get over it, right? Joe Montana wasn't John Elway, right? He wasn't Brett Favre. He wasn't that. He still is awesome.
Obviously, where you look and you see, where he came from, and, all the doubts that are there. But I think one of the things that he proves, and you can go all the way back like Brady proves also, is that the NFL still hasn't figured out the draft.
I mean, that's I'm glad I don't get paid to make those decisions.
They once passed on you.
Yeah, I know, but Justin Fields plays great football as well, and so I'm glad I'm not paid to make those decisions. But I think either way, they're in a great position for the future, and it's just about which way they want to make that decision.
See, that's what I like about these other teams, like the Chiefs, The Bears don't find these guys. You never hear they got the guy in the 7th round and he's leading the league in.
Yeah,
right. I don't know what's going on with the Bears. People ask me, what do you think who they should take? It don't matter. Don't matter who they take, because Justin Fields, he'll probably leave and go win a Super Bowl somewhere. So if you go to the Bears organization, you're doomed.
Yeah. Please don't ever go to the Bears. Please don't ever join the Bears.
Whatever happens, man. I grew up a Bears fan, man. Relax.
Welcome, Windy City Sports Talk fans, and thanks for joining us on the pregame show today. Us, meaning one. I am Sands' partner today for right now. Mr. Combs is on his way from his previous job. He's pulling a Deion Sanders, a la the Atlanta Falcons / Atlanta Braves World Series in the 90s. But I'll be sitting in here until he gets here, doing in the business what we call vamping a little bit. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening. Listen, subscribe. You have a lot of places to find us. Come on, it's the internet. It's 2024, for Christ's sake. Look us up. But if you need to know, we're on Pandora. We're on Spotify. We are on YouTube. We are also on Twitter and Twitch. If you know what Twitch is. Didn't know what Twitch was for a little while. Mr. Combs had to introduce me to Twitch. So probably a couple other places I'm forgetting about. Who the hell cares? In that intro clip, and Jeremiah Murray, thanks for checking in. Yes, Deion Sanders did make it in the helicopter in that World Series. I forget what year that was. Let me just guess. I don't know. 96. But anyway, so you had Phil Simms there. You had Sebastian Maniscalco on the Rich Eisen show. You also had George Kittle. I'm surprised I said George Kittle. I kept thinking Ron Kittle, the ex-White Sox Rookie of the Year. But you also had Joe Montana. Yes. A lot of arguments going on Facebook, mostly with my brother and my dad, but a little bit with Mr. Combs on Joe Montana. Always synonymous with the Super Bowl, though, whether you like it or not. Let me see who else. The very beginning of the clip was actually a kickoff from Any Given Sunday. I wanted to try to get a Al Pacino screaming there, but hoo-ah! But I didn't. I didn't do that. I didn't drop down to that level. But Chris Simms talking a little bit about Purdy. I mean, there are so many storylines in here. You could frost a cake with the cream in Roger Goodell's pants with all the football storylines that you get from the NFL football. It's a spectacle like no other as a sport. I mean, that's how the sport's gotten so big throughout the years, but it's just more so this year, it seems. I have no idea why. It just seems more so this year that there's just more storylines, and there's just obviously the Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift connection. And Shanna just chimes in right as I say it. Don't forget the drinking game involving Taylor Swift. Every time they show her on camera, take a shot. Shanna, you're insane. Take a shot. I don't know if I could take a shot.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
And that is going to be a lot of shots. A lot of shots. because they're going to show her a lot. It's over $1 million. The skybox that they got, that Travis Kelce got her and her family and his family. Gambling and Taylor Swift have brought more eyes. Yeah, you're right. I mean, not just Taylor Swift. I mean, gambling's been taking eyes forever.
I'm here.
He made it. Deion Sanders. He made it.
I had Taylor Swift. I
Series.
had Taylor Swift drop me off at home on her way to the Super Bowl. We were both flying back in from Tokyo. I had to.
There you go. Did you come up? Did you come up with that yourself? Take a bow as your camera focuses in.
My camera right now looks like me after a few drinks.
Yeah, you look a lot better blurred and blurred.
That's fair. That's fair. You're a dick. You're such a dick. What is going on? Combs and Fitz, Windy City Sports Talk fans.
We already did that. It's over.
Oh, I had to do it. Look, I just got off work from talking for 4.5 hours. I had to come back here and talk to you now.
I know. You're going to punch me after
unbelievable.
Michelle, no comment. Haha. She probably wants to have dinner or something, or have some time alone. Probably.
No, she definitely doesn't want time.
Did I ruin her time?
No, we're married. We don't get alone time.
Especially if she has a headache.
No, yeah, she's had a headache for 2.5 years now.
How long?
Just kidding. I love you, babe.
How long have you guys been dating? 31 months.
We've been together for almost 5 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I did not know that. Learn something new every day. I try to know nothing about you. I feel like it'll make the show better. So I try to. It's usually more yelling than talking, if that makes it better.
Well, that's because Fitz is an idiot, and he always makes me yell at him. The guy's wearing a Jets jersey.
Joe Willie Namath. He invented football, pretty much.
Stop it.
He invented the Super Bowl.
He invented the guarantee.
He sure did. And he flirted with Susie Colbert on national television. You should have.
That's true.
Clip.
He did. He did indeed. We pulled out his helmet today at Ultimate Autographs, actually.
Really?
We did. We pulled out a Joe Namath helmet. We had a Tom Brady helmet. We had a Brock Purdy and a Patrick Mahomes helmet. Those were all pretty cool pulls today.
Doubting Thomas, who will join the show. You stole
Not
my
if he keeps
thunder.
talking like that.
Mike Tyson looked better after flying back from Tokyo. Mike Tyson famously got knocked out by Buster Douglas in Tokyo. His first loss.
Yeah. Fucking Doubting Thomas. Fucking lying. I can't wait to have him on here. It's gonna be. You guys want to stay in for Doubting Thomas coming on at 5 p.m. Because it's been a long time coming, Doubting Thomas. You motherfucker.
Unbelievable. Boy. Yeah, after 4 hours, I mean, talking to a mic, kind of starting to lose it, aren't you? We're going to see a different side of Combs today, I think.
No, I'm good. I just, it's Doubting Thomas. He just kind of knows how to push those buttons.
He sure does. But what I was saying before you jumped in, a lot of storylines. Like Roger Goodell would, could cream up a cake with all the could frost the cake with all the creaming he's doing in his pants right now with all the different NFL storylines, even more this year probably than any other years, but
lots of storylines. But what I want to know is how many bets do you have on the game?
How many bets I have on the game? I only have one bet.
I have 11.
11?
Don't look at me like I have a sickness.
What is it? If Mahomes takes his helmet off, how many?
And it doesn't even include all my squares that I'm in strip cards.
I don't have one square.
When you are a Bears fan, as we are, you've got one thing to root for on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's your damn money.
Yeah, pretty much any playoffs lately.
Yes.
is your damn money. But still a lot being said about the Bears. You saw, like I said, Sebastian Maniscalco talking about it. You had Mahomes talking about it. You had a lot of people talking about it pretty much all week. I mean, even George Kittle talked about it. I didn't throw his in there. Wouldn't mind having him on the team.
Yeah.
But still a lot of people talking about the Bears as well. I mean, they've definitely got some airtime. I mean, Poles has sort of did his job. He's keeping them in the limelight, keeping them top of mind. But who do you have winning?
I'm going Niners 31-30. I'm sticking with it. I've been saying it 31-30. I'm sticking with it so much that on my sports betting app, I put it down on their little square section for the final to be 1-0 for the Niners and Chiefs, the final square for the final score. And if I win $1,300. That's how confident I am in it.
Wow.
It's not going to hit.
Did you just take them straight up? Because aren't they favored by 1.5?
I didn't take any bet with a team winning.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I bet all prop bets. I can't. I don't know. Because for one, you can't bet against Mahomes. And for two, I really do believe that the 49ers are good enough to win this football game. I really do believe that Brock Purdy can get it done. I really believe CMC can run roughshod over this Kansas City Chiefs rush defense, or lack thereof.
He might be the difference in the game. I mean, I know you got one guy who's inexperienced. He's obviously has half the talent as the other quarterback. That's a big storyline, but I just think their running game could really do a lot here. If Kyle Shanahan can hold back a little bit, not throw the ball with a lead, which, if San Francisco gets a lead, I mean, that's why you got Christian McCaffrey. He's freaking, Kyle Shanahan's comfort animal. He can run him, in the second half. It's possible, take a lot of time off the clock. The more time, do you have this feeling that the Niners win the possession game? I mean, it happens a lot, but if the Niners win the possession game, the time of possession game, they could win this game.
Well, that's a Chiefs MO though. I think in order for the Niners to win this game, it's got to be a high scoring game. They've got to get in the ring. They've got to get in there. You're getting in there with a heavyweight, and you've got to get into a phone booth fight and just go punch for punch. I believe, because if you you're playing into Kansas City's hands if you try to control the clock. Because that's what Kansas City does.
Some Hagler Hearns.
Yes.
First 2 rounds.
Yes. Jeremiah Murray says 31-17 and Debo MVP. That's a great bet. Debo's like a plus 1,300 to win the MVP. I mean, that's a great for any defensive player. It's like a plus 4,000.
Last receiver to win the MVP. Did Edelman win the MVP that 1 year?
Oh,
I think he did.
He might have. I think that didn't Hines Ward win it?
Yeah, he did, but that's
Pittsburgh
10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 15 years ago now. Didn't they win 2009?
Cup. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cooper Kupp did win it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's correct.
Plus 2,500 for Debo on MVP, says Jeremiah Murray. There you go.
Damn.
I mean, it's insane. Look, the bets are crazy. Like I said, and we'll talk more about that stuff when we get Doubting Thomas on here. It's apparently some sort of betting novice.
Shanna just wants me to eat edibles.
Feed him an edible too. Was she talking to me or you?
Oh, it could have been either one of us. God, I wish you would have lost that one.
I mean, I've got a couple right there on my dresser. I can go grab one if you want.
I've been in your house.
Yeah, I can go grab one.
Maybe later on.
Yeah.
Turn the lights down low.
Yeah. Right when Usher comes on, just take an edible. Slip one in Michelle's drink.
Yeah. I forgot Usher was doing the halftime show. Worst halftime show selection ever. I mean,
no, Usher's a great
20 years ago.
But he's a great entertainer though. I mean, and he's still a great. I mean, even Prince, when Prince did the Super Bowl, he was past his prime too, and that was one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows of all time.
Maybe the greatest. Yeah. Have you ever seen the old halftime shows, like from like the 80s? They were terrible.
What was it a couple of years? Well, 2 years ago, it was Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent came out looking like a freaking a 900-pound bat hanging upside down. And then we also had, wasn't it J-Lo and
Shakira last year.
Shakira, yeah. I was just where I was rooting for was wardrobe malfunction 2.0.
Exactly. Like,
if we ever had a halftime show for a wardrobe malfunction, it should have been that one.
Purple Rain in the Rain was the best. It was.
Yes,
I mean, that was pretty cool.
fantastic.
And it was the Bears Super Bowl too.
Well, son of a bitch. It's the fourth time it's been brought up to me today.
After he returned that kickoff, man, I thought with this defense, but with Tommy Harris and Mike Brown off, we can't relitigate. We got to stick to the game. We can't go back.
We can't.
We go back tomorrow.
I mean, you could go back all you want. Rex Grossman was still our fucking quarterback in that Super Bowl. We had no chance of winning that Super Bowl unless Devin Hester returned every kick.
I don't even think they kicked to him anymore.
No, they kicked him in the first kick, and then they never let him touch the ball after that.
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
No.
Guy was ridiculous. Congratulations on the Hall of Fame, by the way, for Devin Hester and Steve Mongo McMichael.
Hell yeah. It was pretty cool for McMichael, too. He was
and
he
it's
played
about time.
A long time. People forget how long he played.
I hope he makes it. I know he won't be able to get to the ceremony, but I hope he makes it to the ceremony so that he can watch it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what a terrible story that the ALS and the way it's ravaged that man. And he was such a presence whenever he was around, whether it was in the NFL or whether or not it was in the WCW as a part of the Four Horsemen. My favorite, I posted it the other day on Facebook. If you're a friend of me on Facebook, when he told Angel Hernandez he was going to meet him out in the parking lot and blew him a kiss.
Didn't he kick him out?
Angel Hernandez did have him kicked out. Right after that 7th inning stretch, and you could see Angel Hernandez staring at him afterwards too, and it was a fantastic. I love Mongo McMichael. The fact that it took him so long to get in is a crime, but there's a lot of guys that belong in that it took way too long to get in. I mean, look at Antonio Gates. Antonio Gates might be the greatest tight end of all time. He has the most touchdown of any tight end all time, and he's still not in the Hall of Fame. Talk about a guy who played a long time as well. Yeah. I mean, he was the first of the big tight ends that had great hands. He really was, and that paved the way for guys like Gronk, for guys like Kelsey, for guys like Kittle,
like Kittle. I mean, you got two great tight ends in this game. I mean, the tight end position has evolved. I mean, us being fans of the Bears, they say Ditka sort of invented the way the position is played today, but it's evolved even more than that.
Yeah. It's a joke it took this long. Thermo sacks by an interior tackle. And not only that, but look, Samurai Mike, he has a whole Hall of Fame career to thank because of Steve Mongo McMichael. Mike Singletary was great because he played behind Mongo
and Hampton.
Hampton. I mean, it just made it so much easier for him to get there.
Hampton wasn't even a first ballot Hall of Famer. He did not make it on the first ballot either, which was, the guy was he was Reggie White before Reggie White. I mean, because he
took 15 years to get in, and he's third all time in sacks. It's insane.
That is insane.
They have a doink cam this year. Bears are getting mentioned. I can't.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Do they really have a doink cam? Is that a real thing, or are you just messing with me, Jeremiah?
They might have a cam if it hits, and then I know they always have it mic'd up now. Nowadays, they were showing the Cody Parkey, and me and my wife Nicole went to.
They should just call it the Cody Parkey cam.
Where he had 4 doinks in one game. We were at the game, and I was like, after the game, I was like, no matter what, he's like a cooler in blackjack. Like if he comes to the table and he can't win, that's it. Just get him away. Like get him off the team. I don't care if he's the best kicker in the league. Like he's just unlucky. Get another guy in here. There's always a kicker sitting on the street.
Cody Parkey was the reason I wholeheartedly believe the NFL should have made it a 4-point play if you hit the upright. Because it's harder to do than it is to hit it in between them.
Way harder to do.
And
That's
he did it
how Robbie-
constantly.
And weirdly enough, he took over kind of, there was a couple kickers in between, but he took over for Robbie Gold, and that's how Robbie Gold used to practice. He used to kick and try to hit the upright.
They already showed it on the pregame with showing. I call it the Cody Parkey camera. That's what I would call it. The Bears are going to get mentioned. That's the only time you're going to hear the Bears mentioned in the Super Bowl over the next 20 fucking years.
As soon as I put this hot poker in my ass, I'm going to chop my dick off.
Lost $3,000 on that kick.
I lost my mind on that kick, actually. You know why? So when that kick happened, I was with my ex at the time, and she doesn't really she watches football, but she never really followed football. And he makes the first one, but they called a timeout as he was kicking.
Yes.
And she goes, "Oh no, what happens if he misses the next one?" And I said, "What? Why would you say that?" And then he misses the next one, and I just stared at her, and I didn't talk to her for like 2 days.
Stop that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you know what? I was sitting with a friend who's a diehard Bears fan. He's like, "That's okay. It'll be better now. It'll be fine. They'll win next year. They got a really good team. It's all right." I'm like, what the fuck are you? It's football. Half the team could be hurt before they play their first game. The season could be over before the first game of the season.
And then remember, it was the worst Super Bowl of all time. The Rams put up 9. I think it was 12-9 or something stupid.
Yeah. I think that's one where Adam and I might have won that one. I don't.
It was terrible.
And yeah, it was a terrible Super. Neither team. It's just one of those years that happens in sports all the time where there's no really great team. And this year you have the same thing happening. I mean, football loves it because there's so much parity. But you had the same thing happening. Neither one of these teams are really finished. Yeah. The Chiefs aren't as good as they were last year, and arguably, the Niners aren't as good as the Eagles were last year. The Eagles were great last year. People forget how good the Eagles were last year.
And it's funny because these two teams heading into the playoffs that a lot of people were talking about being, the best teams in their respective conference, I thought were the two most beatable teams in their conferences.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Robbie Lopez chiming in. What's going on, Robbie? It's called the field goal cam, but I like the double doink cam. I can't.
Man. Rim shot, Robbie.
Bitch, change your jersey for the love of God. My son, the New England Patriots fan, says.
Joe Namath, come on. Who doesn't like Joe Namath?
Tell him to spell your name right. It's on the damn caption above his head, Junior.
You can almost copy and paste, bro. I don't think
Jesus.
You can copy and paste that, but
it's $2.5 million for a suite this year. McCaffrey made his mom sit in the stands. His girlfriend offered to pay for her suite, and McCaffrey said no. No one I know is paying that much for a suite.
Oh wow. My God.
Wow.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You know what though? I kind of want them to win more now. McCaffrey, that's kind of a
lot of money
kind of
for
a boss
suite, man. That's a lot of money.
That's a boss play, man. It's a boss play. $2.5 million for a suite this year. You know who's going to be in it?
Christ.
Taylor Swift's going to be in one.
She sure is.
It autocorrected, dude. I will punch you right in your face. I don't care if you are 20 now. Now it's not hitting a minor. He said it all. 49ers win today, 31-28. Robbie, I have 49ers 31-30.
Might have missed it, but yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Who you got?
I got the Niners straight up. I didn't even, just
what's the score?
Up, I don't want the points. I didn't even think of the score. I didn't do the over under because last year, I don't know if you remember this, I took the Chiefs and the under. So I took the best offensive in the league to win the Super Bowl and then to go under, which was country dumb, which was very stupid. So this year I didn't even bet that. I just bet the Niners straight up. I don't want it to be 1 point that they win by and me lose, so I just took it. But could win a couple $100.
Shanna says she's serving up spicy Italian beef today too. So we decided that we were staying in for the Super Bowl. So it's just me, Michelle, and Deb watching the game today. And I came home and we have meatballs in the crock pot. We have cucumber, sandwiches that they're making.
Again?
I don't know.
Would you talk to him before the show?
I did not. I think he's messing with me because I said I was going to punch him in the throat.
No balls.
But anyway, we have meatballs cooking in a crock pot. We have cucumber sandwiches. I'm making a taco dip. They bought wings. I'm like, guys, you realize it's just the three of us, right?
What about the drinks? Any drinks? You polishing that down? What's in that big mug?
That is actually Sprite and Captain Morgan. It's called cream soda. It's delicious if you've never tried it. It does taste like cream soda. No.
Isn't that I think my wife had it. I think you brought it over for Nicole.
Yes.
Over the summer.
Yep.
She's had it a few times. She likes it. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Fantastic. There you go. I might have a couple scotches with my dad and some Guinness. I'm going to run over to my dad's house. So
there you go. So you'll be right around the corner.
Yeah.
Just stop on by, man.
Why don't you stop by me?
Because I don't like you. No.
It's obvious. We'll see.
Let me know when you're there.
Okay.
All right. And then Jeremiah Murray, Purdy 12.5 rushing yards is a steal. You know who else is a steal? I
would think with that defensive
Deebo Samuel.
Line, he's gonna rush for more than 12.5 with that defensive line. And it's not like he's not like a super mobile quarterback like some of these quarterbacks, but he can run a little bit.
Deebo Samuel is set at 16. Deebo Samuel's definitely rushing for more than 16 yards with all the end of rounds. They run end of rounds in San Francisco the way the Bears run wide receiver screens.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you got Deebo Samuel, see the Bears do end of rounds with what is it? Tyler Scott or who is their kick returner? They put him in for one play and then they do an end around for him and the whole defense is like, we know what you guys are going to do.
Robbie Lopez, I have 3 racks of ribs right now cooking mojito and lime, lemon pepper with lemon juice, and smoky bacon barbecue rub. What?
Maybe I'm going to Robbie's.
I'm not get a fucking invite, Robbie.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to Robbie's.
What the hell? I was just out that way too at work.
Ribs.
I work with Robbie at Ultimate Autographs. Thanks for chiming in, Robbie.
Very cool.
Shanna Stiso Trusk says whiskey and coffee here for drinks too. There you go.
I don't think Shanna eats. Or sleeps.
You saying that you think Shanna's a vampire?
Yeah, I mean, all that coffee and whiskey. I mean, how many whiskeys and coffee is there going to be?
I mean, look, you don't need to know that. You need to know basis.
But just staying on the Purdy subject, there's been a lot of comparisons. Jerry Rice compared him to Montana. I don't think he moves as well as Montana, nor has as good an arm. People forget because people say that Montana didn't really have an arm. He did have quite an arm, actually.
Oh, he did.
But you like those comparisons?
What makes me put Montana lower on the list is the wide receiving core, the running back, and the offensive line that he played with compared to the other guys.
If he didn't just have Jerry Rice, I mean, Taylor on the other side was terrific. And Roger Craig was absolutely
in the Hall of Fame offensive line. I mean, it was just it was different back then. Still a fantastic quarterback. I mean, to say you're a top 5 quarterback all time is okay, cool. There's 32 teams in the league, and the league's been around for 100 years. That's a lot of quarterbacks.
The post for this show was on Facebook for about 30 seconds. Until
Jeremiah says, "Fuck! I just reheated some pizza, and we're making chili cheese dip."
Oh,
Anna says, "I do sleep at some point." Liar! Liar!
Yeah, where is it when I need it?
Combs Jr. says, I'm watching the game alone in my room because the only friends of mine that like sports is like 17 hours away.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Poor kid has no friends. He has friends. Just, he misses hanging out with dad and watching sports. There's even iced tea with lemonade and whiskey. Yes, it's Get Drunk Sunday. Let's go to Shanna. What the hell? How did we not get an invite?
Yeah.
What the hell? What is up with all these people not giving me an invite?
They don't care about us. Making barbecue ribs.
Even my Aunt Felicia is watching the show, and she didn't invite me. She's family. Making barbecue ribs, baked potatoes, and corn on the corn.
Corn on the corn. That sounds
what's
delicious.
corn on the corn?
Dad, you really ought to drink more.
Love you, Auntie Felicia.
Felicia.
Upside down, of course, is Jeremiah Murray. What are you doing upside down?
He's eating. Is he watching the entire game upside down? I wonder what's on Jeremiah's second screen today. Probably nothing. But is there any other sports playing?
Junior wants to know whether or not we can watch the game with him. We'll FaceTime him.
Yeah, you can do a simulcast.
I don't think you want to drive 8 hours. You have no clue what I will do for good food and drinks. 8 hours is nothing. For
the weed.
for an 8 hour drive. For an 8 hour drive, I will kick Doubting Thomas in the throat. I would drive 8 hours, go kick Doubting Thomas in the throat. That's for sure.
Thomas. We were already talking about a lot of gambling going on, a lot of different bets going on. You have 11 bets going on. Jeremiah had to be a topper and say he had 17 bets going on. Talked a little bit to Doubting Thomas the other day about how he bets. He doesn't do a lot of the prop betting, but he has an interesting way to bet.
And he looks like, so either Doubting Thomas is 97 years old and he has, anemia and it's, he's freezing cold, or he's trying to look like he's a poet or an artist or something. I don't know what's going on. Doubting Thomas, you got a scarf and a socks hat on. What are you doing?
He's wearing a socks hat. That's all I care about.
Unbelievable. Welcome to the show, Doubting Thomas.
Thank you. Very nice.
He's full of energy today.
He's full of energy. Yeah. That's all. He's got more energy in the chat than he does when he comes on screen.
So what do you got? What do you got betting wise? What's your...
I agree with a lot of what Combs said, which scares me.
About what?
I think the 49ers are better, except for Patrick Mahomes is the devil. So
if
you're betting 49ers, are betting against the devil, but I think they're better.
Speaking of the
Lawrence,
devil, David Lawrence says eat shit. Tom.
Tom knows Dave well. But yeah, that 49er team, I mean, what would that team be if you plugged in Josh Allen or even Mahomes or whoever? I mean, that is a great team around Purdy. You're a little higher on Purdy than me though, Tom, aren't you? As a quarterback, you think he's their quarterback for the future?
I like a quarterback who makes quick decisions, gets the ball out of his hands.
And that is that offense.
Justin Fields?
Yeah, just like Justin Fields. But
here we go. So what would be your betting philosophy in today's game? Just go over some of the stuff you were telling me yesterday and, expound on it, whatever philosophy you have, if it's changed, if it's evolving second by second. But yeah.
I don't like the game. I told you, I don't like the game to bet the game. But if I did bet it, I would bet they can both score. Both teams can score quick. You saw it when the Niners came back against the Lions. I would bet something like, if I like the 49ers, I would bet the Chiefs in the first half, the 49ers in the second half. 6-1. If I like the Chiefs, I would bet the 49ers in the first half, Chiefs in the second half. That's 6-1 too.
Okay. I like that philosophy.
Either one of them can score 14 points pretty quick, where a 10-point lead's not that big. The other thing I think I told you yesterday, Ryan, was betting hedging, where if you like the 49ers or the Chiefs, you bet them, and if they're up 10, or 12 or whatever, a good margin at halftime. You go the other way, even up at halftime. I think with a 10-point lead, it's probably 3-1, 2.5, 3-1. Or if you bet $100 theoretically on the Chiefs, you could take the Niners in the second half. You're basically assured you're going to win no matter what.
Does it matter to you who gets the ball in the second half first?
It matters to the line.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It'll matter to the line, to whatever second half line they set, or they won't make that in. But yeah,
So I took Brandon Ayuk to score the first touchdown of the game. Do you like that bet? He's a plus 1,500.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Brandon Ayuk is?
He's the Niners' number one, right?
He's a number two.
Yeah, you could say number one, number two,
but
yeah.
they love him in the red zone.
Yeah,
they do love him in the red zone. I hedged it though with Justin Watson being the first touchdown scorer for the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, I like it.
There you go.
What other bets do you have, Combs?
I have Brandon Ayuk anytime touchdown scorer. I think that's a given. I have both teams to score one or more touchdown in each half. I think that's a given as well. That's only a plus 105. I also have
Jesus Christ. I don't know how you keep track of this shit.
Because I'm looking at the app right now. I have the Chiefs in Niners score
Is
at
this
the
a
end.
parlay?
No,
Okay.
I took them all separately. I took the Chiefs and Niners to be tied at 7 at the end of the first quarter for a plus 725. So I like them both to score in the first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard Doubting Thomas, but I took the Niners just straight up. I didn't want to lose, have them win by a point and lose. I just took them straight up. I don't know if you do something like that on the whole game. I know you don't like this game. Is there a reason why you don't like the game? Because they both score a lot and it's the fucking NFL, and a referee holding call at the end on Juju B-Schuster could lose the game for you. Long question, but would you have just taken the Niners? You like the Niners? Would you have just taken them straight up?
Yeah, I like the Niners. If I had to bet, it's not my favorite game, like I said, but if I had to, I would bet the Niners. Yeah, another thing when I was looking at it is, I think there's a little bit of recency bias with the Chiefs, a little bit, where they've won all their playoff games. I think they've held their last 8 opponents to 20 points, like around 20 points or less. I want to say the Bills put up 24 on them, where the Niners struggled through a couple of their playoff games. But
yeah,
numbers wise, the analytics prefers the Niners.
I like it. Well, Thomas, we got a few questions coming in the chat for you to answer. Jeremiah Murray wants to know, what is behind you? Are you in a tomb, and are you the undead?
I'm at your sister's house, Jeremiah.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
Dad, you really ought to drink more.
Johnny Fitzgibbons chimes in, says, tell them how you saved Trigger's ass in a Walgreens parking lot.
Saved my ass too.
I'm not telling that story.
Did you save them in a Walgreens parking lot?
No.
Yeah. It was on the south side. You know how things go sometimes.
Oh God,
I was young.
I need to. You're going to tell me this story off the air.
We can tell that offline.
All right.
Tom wants to tell it offline.
All right, and then I'll tell it online to everybody else next week.
Was there any other bets you had, Combs, before? Or did you go through them all?
Most of my bets, I went with like number bets, like scoring bets in between. From the first, second quarter, just kind of like off the wall what I think the score is going to be. Like I really do believe 31-30 is going to be the final score. So I went with 1-0 for the final score. That $20 bet would win me $1,300 if it hits.
Wow.
So
I think the Niners are going to be able to score on them.
I do too. That's why I said I think they got to get into a phone booth fight and go punch for punch with this team. I don't think you can try to control the clock.
What was the over-under on McCaffrey rushing yards?
The 90 and a half, I believe. Look, here's the problem that teams have had with the Chiefs is when they get behind, they get pass happy. The Ravens got away from the run. The Bills got away from the run. You can run on this football team. And if the Niners fall behind, they can't get pass happy. They have to continue to pound the run because you can run all over this defense.
So you want them to attack.
Yes.
But then you want them to run the ball.
That's how you attack Kansas City, though.
Are you?
No, that's how you attack Kansas City. You run the ball. When you can gain bulk yardage by running the ball, that's attacking.
Dave Lawrence says it's a long story. It is a long story. Holmes Jr., he's coming out firing today.
He says his poor sister.
He also said his shirt looks better than Fitz's jersey. It's goddamn Joe Namath. You hit on Susie Colbert.
Dude, he's 20 years old. He doesn't even know who Joe Namath is.
So Joe Namath played. I wasn't even alive when Joe Namath played.
Yeah, but kids these days, unless it's on Fortnite, and unless he's an option for a skin, they don't know who he is.
Susie Colbert was asking for it.
He was.
Jeremiah Murray says, "My sister's house." Yep, he's definitely undead. Unbelievable.
I don't want to unpack that.
I'm not going there. I'm not. I don't know Jeremiah Murray's sister. I'm leaving it. I'm leaving that alone.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Yep.
But anyway,
pretty much.
Doubting Thomas. Last question. You're wearing a Sox hat, so I got to get your.
Oh God.
Oh, you're over. Come on. You're over under on wins this year for the Chicago White Sox.
We're setting the mark at 42 and a half.
Fuck off.
70.
Hammer the under.
70? 70 is not bad.
Dave Lauren wants to know what's with the scarf.
I'm in the basement.
Gotcha.
He had to take it, I know who he lives with, and she tends to be a little loud, so he probably had to go to his bunker to get away from the noise. I can't stop looking at it.
That's what she said.
Here, Jeremiah is going after Megan TV and last week's show. Now Dave Lauren's going after Thomas.
It's how it goes.
He's in his happy place. Probably 70. I think 70 wins is pretty fair. I think they can get to 70.
God. If they're keeping Dylan Cease, then yeah, I still don't. Of course, they're a dark horse in the division, but 42 games might win this division.
Foreshadowing tomorrow's episode. What if they get Trevor Bauer? Foreshadow.
I mean, look.
70 means they lose 92, Ryan.
I know.
I thought
win 70. I know, but I think 70 sounds about right.
When Trevor Bauer put out that tweet that he would play for the league minimum, I actually thought it was a text straight to Jerry.
That's what I'm saying. Now what? Now we're not going to get into it because I already wrote Fitz gibberish and I don't want to So, foreshadowing and move on.
I may know you a little too well, I guess, huh?
Yes, exactly. You knew I was going there. I can't. You can't put something like that in front of me.
All right, Thomas. Well, we appreciate you joining the show, sir. Talking some betting. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Stay warm. Hopefully, you don't need the scarf when you go upstairs or the Sox hat.
Come on.
What?
That's a jab, dude. Don't hit it while we're down.
How is that a jab?
We got a new stadium we're building. You can't help yourself.
They have a new stadium. Great. So you have a state-of-the-art $2 billion stadium to go watch a team.
I'll show you what Sox fans do to first base coaches.
First of all, you forget that I know you. If I didn't know you, I might be scared of that statement. But since I know you.
Oh, here we go. Tom, one more. No, one more. How many rounds until I knock this punk out if we've boxed? How many rounds, Tom?
How many rounds would it take for him to wake up from the first round?
Unbelievable. All right. Thanks, Doubting Thomas. It was great.
All right, we'll see you.
Talk to you later.
All right, guys. Well,
That was good. We should
it's
have him
Super
on
Bowl
again.
time. It is. He definitely was. We should have him on when it's warmer, so he doesn't have to dress like that. But we can definitely have him on more for sure. Absolutely.
I think he was getting along with Dave Lauren a little bit too much.
Yes. Is that how he saved you in a Walgreens parking lot?
Not bad. Wow.
All right, guys. We're getting close to kickoff time. We're going to let you guys go. We're going to get out of here. Everybody enjoy the Super Bowl. Remember, I've got Niners 31-30. You've just got the night. You don't even know what the score is going to be. You're like not even going to take a stab at it. You're just like
a stab here. I'll take a stab. I think Niners 28-24.
28-24. There we go. All right, guys. Well, enjoy the game. We will be back tomorrow night, our normal time, 6:30 p.m. We'll be wrapping up the Super Bowl, or 6 p.m. Sorry. I'm so
We're on the fifth hour here.
We'll have oh God. We'll have our normal show. We're gonna wrap. We'll talk some Bears draft stuff again and again.
Yeah, all right. I'll see you guys there.
Or we can talk preseason baseball.
Nah.
Either way. See you guys tomorrow.
Yep.